Hi, it's Nick from Nick's Nutrition and welcome back. This video is going to be all about caffeine as well as my top tips to cut down on it. So if you're addicted to coffee like I used to be, carry on watching. So just to give you a bit of a background to caffeine, it's a natural physical and mental stimulant, as I'm sure you'll know, and it's found in coffee and tea as well as chocolate and energy drinks. Although small amounts of caffeine are perfectly healthy, and if you have it before a workout, it can actually help to improve performance, too much of it isn't a good thing. Specifically, too much caffeine, so more than 5 cups a day, can affect your mood, so it can cause irritability, and it can also cause stomach upset, restlessness, and it can affect your sleep as well. Another problem is that the more that you have caffeine, the more that your body gets used to it, so that's why the effects of caffeine wear off over time. So if you're interested in cutting down on caffeine, here are my top 3 tips, and what I will say is don't go cold turkey, so don't go cutting out your caffeine all at once because you may experience headaches. So my first tip is to question why you're relying on caffeine in the first place, and if it's because you're not sleeping well, sort this out first. Most adults require between 7 and 8 hours of sleep a night, and if you're having trouble sleeping, then make sure to avoid caffeine for several hours before you go to bed. My second tip is to look for caffeine-free or lower caffeine containing drinks. I personally love to have green tea, which contains less caffeine than regular black tea, and I also love to drink Barleycup, which you may not have heard of before. I've got some Barleycup here to show you, and it's basically a caffeine-free alternative to coffee. It's made from roasted barley, rye and chicory, and as well as being gluten-free, it's got no added sugar and it contains just 5 to 10 calories per cup. My favourite way though to enjoy Barleycup is as a caffeine-free mocha, and I'll give you the recipe to that after tip number 3. My third and final tip is to only have caffeine when you really need it. So this might be after the odd late night or before a workout. Try to keep your daily caffeine intake to no more than 400 to 500 milligrams or 200 milligrams if you're pregnant. And to put this into context, there's about 100 milligrams in a cup of coffee and about 75 milligrams in a cup of tea. If you've already had enough caffeine for the day, then remember that exercise is also a fantastic way of boosting energy levels naturally. So take a brisk walk for 5 minutes and you might not need that caffeine boost after all. So now that you've heard my top 3 tips on how to cut down on caffeine, here is a delicious recipe that I love to have after work because I know that it's not going to affect my sleep. It's a caffeine-free mocha recipe, and to make it, all you need to do is add a handful of ice cubes to your blender along with 200 ml of milk, so I'm using unsweetened almond milk, along with 1 to 2 teaspoons of Barleycup, which has been mixed with a dash of hot water and then topped up with cold water to make 100 ml. You then want to add this to your blender and add half a teaspoon of cinnamon, which is optional, a teaspoon of cocoa powder, and then your chosen sweetener. You want to blend it all up before serving it as it is or over more ice before enjoying. If I'm having this drink for breakfast, then I always add half a frozen banana, and if it's after a workout, I also add 1 scoop of vanilla whey protein. These two make this smoothie really thick and it just tastes so delicious. I really hope that you've enjoyed this video all about caffeine as well as my top tips on how to cut down on it. If you want to find out more information as well as more recipes with Barleycup, you can check out their website, which is barleycup.com. You can also follow them on Twitter, so I'll pop their handle down below. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I look forward to seeing you all soon. Bye!